housing problems that the city has, and again, the rat problems and transportation issues with communications between bus drivers and clients and customer service may not be being the best in the world. New York City is not necessarily known for being the nicest city in the world. A lot of these things, a lot of the problems with New York City could be solved if this education problem were solved. You know what I mean? I'm just making a suggestion. I don't know that it's that I actually do think that it would solve the issue. What do you think about that, CA? Think about the problems with New York City and the things that people make complaints about. Can you think of one? Huh?
No,
You can't?
police,
The rat
police
problem.
brutality.
Police brutality. Okay. Do you think that police brutality might be solved were there education, were there better communication, were the people not mis, were the people more informed, whether it be people of a different language that don't speak the language here, or maybe a people of a different orientation, such as gender orientation or sexual orientation. If there was a better, we can take this knowledge across language lines and take it to more of an understanding and more of a cultural understanding, cultural language. So maybe we both speak English, but we're different part of a different culture, whether it be gender orientation or something else. If there's more education and more now, the education becomes bigger as far as language, crossing language lines and getting understanding not only in other languages for the 1600 other languages, but also the other gender identities as well. Now, at that point, what do you recommend that happens at that point? Um, do you think that maybe classes on those types of things would necessarily better the problems with the city? Then all of a sudden, police brutality would go if it would go away or lessen or alleviate where the population of people that are being brutalized, for example, had better communication with the police, for example. Do you think that would maybe solve the issue? Yes or no, Sia?
No,
Huh?
no,
So you don't think communication is the issue?
no,
Well, what do you think the issue is?
um, negligence.
What kind of negligence?
It's like systems to help
Systems of what?
of social programs.
Hmm?
Systems or social programs.
Systems or social programs. So systems or social programs. Uh, what does that mean?
It's a way to help people who can't read. It gives a program so that they can go back and forth and understand.
So you think that that's directly related that the people like that can't read in English may have less education, so that they might be police brutalized more than people that aren't educated?
No,
Because I remember one night I was in the village, right, and I saw maybe I don't know if she was a drag or a full on transgender, but I saw the police officer body slammer, and I had a problem with that um, because well, she might not have approached him the most ladylike way, but I don't know. I still don't think he should have slammed her. I don't think that he felt. Maybe he did feel a little bit. He was a little bit concerned or scared, but he was trying to protect his life. But I don't know. I don't think it was handled the appropriate way. I don't think that she would was gonna hurt him. But anyways, I thought that was an example of police brutality. Um, it didn't escalate beyond that. I don't think she died, and I don't think that anyone was hurt. I think somehow I don't know if it was her pumped thighs, booty, or breasts that allowed her to take the fall a little bit, more comfortably than maybe someone who wasn't fully pumped up. But um, I think maybe she wasn't educated. maybe if she were educated, maybe she was, I could be wrong, so I don't want to take any position that I'm not right. Well, let's just give an example. If we may use her as an example to try to solve the world's problems, for example. Um, so if, let's say she didn't have her high school diploma, she didn't understand how to maybe have a conversation with a police officer, a civil conversation, because all people have to learn that lesson. All people at some point in their life will come in contact with a police officer and need to know. I mean, that crosses color lines the same way slavery does. Black people weren't the only ones that were slaves. There was slaves in Europe and white countries all over the world. I think every society has been encountered slavery at some point. But yes, so all people have to deal with, issues of, dealing with police officers, and that can be a pleasant experience. It should be. I mean, the police are supposed to, for example, if I get the mansion that I want, I mean, think about how many people, especially the middle class, really uses it, and the upper class does as well, really uses community watch. The lower class does too. It's because the police is here to protect and serve us. We pay them to pretty much protect our property, to protect our family and other stuff like that as well. Um, I think if the communication, that understanding, and that communication may be there in a different way, then perhaps that problem could have been curtailed or inexistent. It might not have happened had there been that type of education or some type of educational communication and beyond, or GD or something. Do you think that could have been true or something? What do you think? I could have probably said it a little bit clearer for this camera not on me, but I'm willing to carry that burden, that weight, in order to get the message out there to all the world, to every 192 of the countries that are in the United States, for all I'm concerned, all 193 of them and beyond. That includes all 50 states of the United States, from here to Florida to Washington, across the country to New Mexico, all the way over to Maine. Let's diagonally, and everyone in between and beneath and above. And all of the countries that surround that, all of 192 of the countries that surround that beyond the United States. I just think that we need to get a better understanding of what's going on in this world. You understand, CA? Um, do you get it? Do you get it? Is there anything else you would like to say? So, yeah, I weighed in yesterday, good. I weighed in at 141. So I'm doing good. That's 2 pounds over my range. I shouldn't have said it on camera, because I'm supposed to be at 135 or 139. Whew. But CA, the point is, why not do that? Why not get me as president of the world and get a system that runs right through the entire world, that will eliminate world problems and terrorist bombings and all the issues that we're dealing with in the world that are terrorizing the people, and money problems, and all of that could be fixed with one government. And I suggest that there be a world government on my Facebook page. You can check it out there. DCW.com. There is a think tank there. You guys leave a comment somewhere. I have 900 YouTube videos. I have a Facebook business page. I have messaging through my website. I mentioned that I have a think tank, even though I have a very high-end real estate company as well. That if you reach out to me, get your comments in so that I can share it with other people, and that we can get this conversation going. That's what the think tank is about. You see what I'm saying? Shoulder to shoulder. But I mean, the point is, do that. Speak out. I'm not gonna try to look the best this morning. I could fix myself up to look the best, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. We're talking about an issue of, helping the people. Anything else before I turn the camera on? Because I do not want to do another take. Anything else? I really wanted to get you on. You were sounding so good this morning. Like you, I was getting ready to get some of your intellectual and approach. Take on it. And Shalom. The fast yesterday, Yom Kippur, was amazing. I felt so uplifted from the fast and the that time, atoning, because the Jewish holiday is about atonement for the people, atonement of our sins as the people's sins, and I really felt atoned and forgiven, and I kind of just felt like a spiritual breakthrough. What should I title this video? Name this video? World Problems Solution. The world's problems solution. S. Huh? Be around the SRO.
Walking around the SRO.
So name it Walking Around the SRO. How does that tie in? Huh?
You said you have to use it.
I have to use it as a title.
You don't.
But what I'm asking is, so how does that, like walking around the SRO, what does that have to do with the problem of handling the world's solutions? The world's problems? What does that have to do with it? I don't get it. Do you get it? So you said just name it Walking Around the SRO. See, that is not a good title for the film. It has to be something. Why are my feet moving so slow? I did not even walk at this speed. I guess if I have a very speed, which I do, it counts. But that particular one, I hadn't used much of. It seems like I'm an old, like Spanish lady, like contemplating speed. Like this Donia that's walking around town and she's thinking about something. She's just kind of walking like this. Donia means a mature Spanish lady. So it's getting on my nerves. CA, answer the damn question. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. I feel like we should have an answer for the people at that time. What? You don't want me touching your feet?
No. What's this?
Huh? Well, we can't make a porn video. I already have a porn video out, but I'm not even promoting that. I mean, that's from my past. I'm on to different types of videos, career videos, think tank videos, real estate videos, music videos, which I kind of moved from, but you get the point. I'm gonna do like some private couples like sex video during a world solutions video. Does that make sense? So if there were somebody running to be the top position for New York State, for example, such as I guess the governor's position, well, I say that I would be appropriate for that. I think there's a higher position that's available for me that I think I'll probably go for. Actually, I'd rather do stick with the private industry, the private company industry, which is what I have. It's based in North Carolina, but since my company's there and I live here as well, pretty much full time right now, I would have to say that it's that ellipsis. Are you half asleep, almost woke, or what? What's up? I guess we'll try to talk it to 20 minutes. If we can get an answer, somebody can leave If you guys haven't hit up yet, you maybe can get your suggestions. Talk to your local authority, talk to your local offices, talk to your local government, talk to your local, send in cards and emails and Facebook messages and any way that you can communicate with the heads and the elected officials where you're at to get these issues implemented. As far as education, um, as far as education, as well as what was the other thing that we were just talking about? Um, Education, police brutality. All these issues can be handled. There's a solution, and I've given the solution. If you were able to implement it, um, implement the sharing of this solution with your systems in your systems, that would be great. 1,600 languages. Just let's get it translated and get this shared around the world wherever we're at. And I know some places already have good systems and good governments and good programs going on in their towns and cities. We're just talking about this very great city of New York City, for example, as the primary focus of this conversation right now, with nearly 9 million people living here. It's such a great place to be able to get some betterment going on. Better understanding so people can understand their options. For example, I'm looking to build high-end homes, real estate. I don't know that a lot of people from Spain here even know that the types of homes that I'm trying to build exist in their hometown. I give an example of for example, 16,000 square foot home or 20,000 square foot home in Lagos, Spain. There on my Facebook page, Davon Chadewick Wine Incorporated Facebook page. I give an example of that size home. There's one there available as well as in Lagos, Nigeria, and I think in other parts of the world, and Bangladesh. So there are options for people. They can work their way up, whichever way they are gifted and talented, and have the love from God to be able to help this world. They can, work in that field and work their way up in that stead. I'm just saying that there are options. Unfortunately. Huh?
That's good. Stop talking.
Stop talking?
Yeah.
Why stop talking?
That's
Enough what? Enough information?
yeah.
But we're only on 17 minutes and 40 seconds. 40 seconds.
Maybe just more for you.
Huh? I'm not saying that a big home is not needed because, a decent sized home is certainly needed. I think if we had education about that, then that could be achieved even within these 5 boroughs. But the 5 boroughs, it does not have to be the extent. It can go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want people to know. You get it? Did you want me to turn the camera off because you had to fart? Because if you fart to the right beat, the right rhythm, then it shouldn't be a problem. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you just got to be fresh with it. You feel me? They say the freshest kids are born in the Bronx. But I could be wrong. You get corny sometimes too, you know? Nah, but yeah. What else? See anything else? You want to turn the camera off? Is it getting on your nerves? Huh? We got about 52 seconds. Anything you want to say? You're right. It's a good time. When you say turn the camera off, you meant fade into this. Turn the camera off. How will we close this video out? I guess in the conclusion of the matter, we would love to hear from you. Leave those comments and stuff like that. Leave it there in the box. And we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I feel like I just gave a music lesson as well as tonal structure and modulation. I did study it in college and teach it in church before that. So, hope you guys have a great day. Even though we kind of moved away from the topic at hand, this video is about handling the world's problems. Chime in